Boom! What's good, my people? We're back again for another one on this here Mystelics vlogs. Welcome to our Mystelics vlogs. What's good, my people? We are definitely back for another one on this day. Welcome once again, guys, to another vlog right there, guys. Boom, bam, big up yourself one time, out and large. All the Mystelics family, you already know. Give this video a thumbs up right now if you're a Mystelics family, and definitely if you're not a Mystelics family, definitely subscribe and turn on that post notification so you can get all the videos as they come through. With that said, guys, we're gonna get right into it. First up, I must make mention of this particular situation that we're seeing right there, guys. Mandatory Rona solution for tourists, or let me change that, guys. Mandatory injection for tourist workers as Dominica prepares for returns of cruise ship. So we're hearing the cruise ship is going to be returning around June, July time. And I know a number of persons are concerned as a result of this whole situation taking place that they're trying to force on individuals. Mandatory injections, they're saying, that are going to be putting on individuals who work in the tourist sector, which is interesting considering, given the present situation that we have in now, we don't have these problems in Dominica. So if you were to think logically about the whole situation there is, wouldn't that be that the people who are coming in are the ones who need to get injections rather than the people who are already inside who have none of these issues, guys? We have 0 cases right now, guys. 0 cases. And therefore the only set of people that will be bringing that in is the people outside. So why then do the people inside need to get the injection? I don't get it. But we'll get into that as we read the article right there, guys. The article states that as Dominica prepares for the return of the cruise ship, which officials say commence on June 2021, that is a few months from now, Prime Minister Skerrit has announced that his government will amend the certification criteria to include the injection for those involved in this sector. According to the Prime Minister, these measures need to be implemented for the safety of both visitors and locals and to grow the economy back to the place it once was. So guys, before I get into the whole thing right there, he mentioned something about growth, economic growth. Back in the day, there was not much going on with economic growth for the tourism sector. We know that for a fact. I really don't think that he remembers how it was back then. It was not growing at all. A matter of fact, guys, it was declining to the point where it was the last in the entire Caribbean when it comes to the tourism sector. Anyways, I know it can bring some sort of money. I know $1 is better than $0, so okay. Let us look at what is taking place right now, guys. The people who are involved in these sectors, they are using masks, they are using social distancing, they are using cleaning your hands and this kind of things. Apparently, these things have been working. True or false? Because this is the protocols that has been handled in the tourism sector for now. People were coming into Dominica. There's a number of white people that were seen passing up and down the place in Picas. That means these individuals definitely came from overseas and we have 0 cases. So if these things were working, why then is it mandatory or becoming mandatory for individuals to take injections? Remember, the injections, especially what we have now in India, is causing catastrophe in these places, man. We received the injection thing from them, and they are having serious problems. This is AstraZeneca we're talking about, that we have in Dominica. Not only that though, guys, but understanding that countries who got the most injections are now showing signs of increased Rona problems. You can research it for yourself. Not only that though, guys, but countries who have the top are now showing high levels or high rising levels of the Rona in people, which is interesting. So why then, if we are wearing masks and everybody's coming in and people are coming in Vicky, so on and so forth, why then do individuals need to then take the injection? Which of course, the very people at the top do not know how it's going to affect people. It is one thing for it to affect one person, but when you're using one thing to try to help everybody, when you know everybody responds to one thing differently, how then do we not know that we need to be mindful of that? The very Prime Minister himself stated in the article that there's a risk involved. Similar to how the food handler's license is done, that you have to go and do a tuberculosis test, etc., before you can get the food handler's license and blah 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 blah, for good reason. But that is a test that you do. You go to do a test to figure out if you have something, and then if you don't have that thing, then you get the food handler's permit. This is different. An injection you're getting into your body that you do not know how exactly it's gonna affect you. People have been getting a number of adverse effects when it comes down to this first shot, and they do not know the midterm effect, which is 5 to 10 years, and much less in the future how it's gonna affect your child. They have been studying this thing. This is why I point out to people, if you have to take this injection or a injection, you should take the Cuba one, because the children are also safe when it comes down to this one. But the reason why I think that they are not taking the Cuba one is because they have to pay for it. That is the only one that seems substantial and safe as a result of what they have done in Cuba. There's even an article that goes out saying that Cuba can actually become the #1 injection destination. If you get my drift. I don't want to say the V word, so I say injection instead. It could be the number one destination for injections. Because this one is pretty much more safer than the others. This is something that they have been using back in the day. So this is not anything new to say, oh my goodness, no. This has been something that they've been using based on my understanding of what they actually have in Cuba. Why then are we not taking this thing to help us? We are friends with Cuba, not true? We're not best friends now. Correct me if I'm wrong. We can probably get like 10,000 of these things to get to Dominica for free. Because we're pleading to India to get things. They themselves having problem with their own thing. AstraZeneca has been put, man. Anyways, let me continue. The Prime Minister stated that you cannot be a tour guide and not want to be injected. Because the persons who is going to want you to take them to Titu Gorge and Trafalgar and Boiling Lake, etc., they are going to want to know that you have been injected, because they are going to want to protect themselves. No doubt about it, they want to protect themselves. But let us remember, guys, presently these things are happening where individuals who come from the airport then have to wear masks. It is very easy for individuals to wear masks, because if you're doing it right now and people are not getting infected, that means it's working. Not true? I stated that already. If you are wearing a mask, you come from the airport, you have to wear your mask, put your hand sanitizer, everything, blah blah blah. If that is working for individuals coming in, why then do you need to take an injection that you have no idea how it's gonna affect you in the long run or right there in the short term? I don't understand. What kind of logic is this? People have been traveling back and forth in Dominica. Yes, you have to be in quarantine and whatnot, boom, but when you go there, you still have your mask and everything that you organize. Why then, guys, help me understand, why then do you have to force or make it mandatory for individuals to try to get injections? That doesn't make any sense to me. Anyways, let's continue. And they are going to demand that they will only go on to, that is lie. Who going to demand that? The people want to go on their tours and everything like that. That is already happening. Individuals are wearing masks, they go on their tours, nobody complaining. How then do we then make this thing mandatory, and then all of a sudden people start complaining because you make it mandatory? So that means wearing masks somehow will make things unsafe now. I don't get it. Help me understand this, guys. Me that slow. Help me understand in the comment box below. Skerrit further noted that the vendors who will be in daily contact with the visitors would need that added armor of defense, quote unquote, with the injection, with the injection, and further emphasizes the importance of those in the hospitality and tourism sector getting the injection. Guys, I'm asking you guys questions now. What has changed when it comes on to the further armor of protection when the people who get this injection can also get affected? How is it further armor or protection? The only thing this is supposed to do, mark you guys, this thing does not give you immunity. Because how can immunity be dependent on everybody else getting it and not you? It's supposed to be a self thing. You immune, everybody immune, and therefore you'll have a herd immunity. How then do you require everybody to get it so that you can get immunity? What kind of craziness is this? I don't know. I slow. Keep in mind, guys, that the people on top are still stating that you can still get it even if you get the injection. And when we're reading all these articles about top countries who have gotten these injections having another cycle of the very thing that they injected themselves for, I mean, doesn't that question, or shouldn't we question ourselves about the very thing, especially considering that we took this thing from India, and India is having a huge problem with it right now. We had zero, guys. Why do we need to take these things?
Bill to invade further upon private businesses. However, the chief responsibility and constitutional role of our government is to protect the rights of the individual. Employees can take off their helmets, masks, or uniforms at the end of the workday. They cannot remove a thing.
Can't we not just wear our masks if we are dealing with these individuals? And when you go home, you throw this thing away? Why then do you have to become like these individuals who can also get these things and carry these things up? Why can these individuals just wear their masks and sanitize? Which they are also telling individuals who got the injection to sanitize and wear your mask as well. To help me understand what is important of getting these things or making it mandatory in a country that has zero cases right now.
It is not right to treat unvaccinated individuals as if they are sick individuals.
I don't get it. Skerrit also stated that it is important for us to recognize that we have to set aside all these things we read on YouTube and Facebook. Even though, mark you, it comes from doctors and scientists and journalists and all these people who have done the research and tried to make sense out of what is being stated. They have been putting this information out there. Hundreds of thousands of doctors across the world, including the United States, are telling individuals, be mindful of this thing. You are telling us to reject these individuals, these individual professionals who have studied these things, to then listen to the minority at the top who are in charge of the media, understanding that the number one contributor to the very thing right there is Bill Gates, who, mark you, stated what he wanted to happen as a result of using the V's. Skerrit admitted, this is where it comes in, guys. Skerrit admitted that this comes with risks. Risks, you know, risks. And mark you, it's unknown risks. Especially when it comes comes down to the long-term and mid-term effects, guys, we do not know. It comes with risks. But we have to recognize, that's what he's saying right there, but we have to recognize the need for us to get back to a state of normalcy. I agree, we need to get back to a state of normalcy. And that has absolutely nothing to do with getting injections. I don't understand how normalcy is based off getting injections when you're already normal. Now guys, understand that if anybody who needs to get injections, which I don't think makes sense, but anybody who needs to get injections will be the people coming from outside coming in. A matter of fact, the very government stated, very Skerrit stated, that they're trying to reduce for people who have gotten the injections, quarantine time. So that means that the tourists who are coming in, who will be walking around the people who need to be quarantined before they come in, or they are free to mingle as soon as they reach. So if that is the case, what then is the point of quarantining individuals, reducing the day for which they are quarantined, and then tourists are then coming in, vai, hey, I get my injection, whoop, whoop, I can mingle among people. Therefore, the only people that would most likely bring this into Dominica would be the tourists. Help me understand this, guys, I'm a bit slow. Help me understand it, guys, because I'm a bit slow. Therefore, I don't think a mandatory thing should be included. If you're trying to protect individuals, why don't you just continue the protocols that have been had already, because they are still having to wear the mask. So help me understand this, guys. When these individuals who come in who do not have to quarantine also have to wear masks, then the people on the tour guides who also have to wear a mask as well when they're dealing with people, what is the point of getting injected? I don't understand it, you know, guys. I don't understand it at all. But leave your thoughts in the comment box below as well. I don't know the story to put with this vlog, guys, but I'm just like, yo, this is a long vlog right there, guys. Let us run with it, man. Let me hear your thoughts on this whole mandatory injection thing that they're trying to impose on people. Do you think it makes sense? Because it does make sense to me, so I want to see if it makes sense. Leave your thoughts in the comment box below as well. Do you think that is a good move right there, especially when it comes down to the liberty and freedom of individuals, freedom of choice without prejudice? Matter of fact, I have something else, guys. Listen to this. Look, guys, this is gonna read right there, guys. This is Universal Declaration of Bioethics and Human Rights, guys. Article 6, consent. This was, of course, 19 October 2005. Any preventative, diagnostic, or therapeutic medical intervention is only to be carried out with the prior free and informed consent of the person concerned based on adequate information. So how then can you make a proper informed consent decision without adequate information? They're just saying speculations for which you're learning right now. Anyways, guys, the consent should where appropriate be expressed and may be withdrawn by person concerned at any time and for any reason without disadvantage or prejudice. Scientific research should only be carried out with the prior free, express, and informed consent of the persons concerned, guys. The information should be adequately provided in a comprehensible form, I should say, and should include modalities for withdrawal of consent. Consent may be withdrawn by a person, by the person concerned at any time and for any reason without any disadvantage or prejudice. Exceptions to this principle should be made only in accordance with ethical and legal standards adopted by states, consistent with the principles and provisions set out in this declaration, in particular in Article 27 and international human rights law. And the third one is, in appropriate cases of research carried out on a group of persons or community, additional agreement of the legal representatives of the group or community concerned may be sought. In no case issue a collective community agreement or the consent of a community leader or other authority substitute for an individual's informed consent. Based off international law, brothers and sisters, without disadvantage or prejudice. This is pretty much all I ask for this here vlog, guys. What are your thoughts, man? Leave your thoughts in the comment box below. I'd really like to hear what you guys have to say about this whole situation right there. Let me know your thoughts in the comment box below. Give this video a thumbs up if you understand it, and of course subscribe and turn on that post notification if you've not done so. If you have not done so as yet. Be real, guys. Tell you wicked and dirty people them who themselves are sometimes not properly informed at all, trying themselves to put non-informed information on people. Tell them stop their wicked, dirty heart, dirty ways, man. Be real, be positive, and with the most high step as always, guys. Definitely stay prayed up. Welcome to our Mystelics vlogs.
One day I will blow. Something we gon' show. Wow, this life is a constant uphill battle, but it's also filled with some beautiful moments.